got the K2.
Is your name George? Yes, thank you.
It's lining up around that direction, then you've got one going that direction, then you've got another one. We're starting to think we're doing a HTD around Antarctica. We're finding owls. There's one. There's another little one there. We're at the Avoca Cemetery, which is quite a decent size bit of land here. Just as we pulled up, Beth mentioned it and I'm feeling it too. This first section here is all newer graves and everything. And we're getting a really big sort of fuck off vibe. Yeah. So basically we're not going to film around some of these newer ones. We're attracted to the back ones, which some of the older ones.
I'm attracted to
a couple of big ones right out the very back. So we're going to head out that way and have a look. And that's the fuck off vibe is not really directed to us. It's just in general, to people in general.
It's just new graves, that's all.
I think because there's new graves and, you know, people do hang around, kids hang around and whatever else, and sometimes spirit get a little bit uptight when people, strange people visit because they don't know what their motive is. Just let everybody know here that our motive is very respectful, and we're just going to head over right to the back. There's a couple of interesting ones that I haven't looked at before.
I've got some.
Now this section at the back here is what I'm most interested in, but you know, I just find it interesting here. We've got this entrapment of water around the section we want to get into. It's like it's a moat. Really cool, and there's some really old graves over there we're just going to go and have a look at and check it out. As usual, we have a memorial wall here. This wall is dedicated to those who are in unmarked graves, and as usual you get you know, cemeteries dating back to the 1850s. That's of course you're going to have some unmarked graves in the cemeteries, and there's quite a lot of land here in the cemetery, as you can see. Quick spin around.
That's what I said to you when we were walking across, watch out for the unmarked graves.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yep, certainly are unmarked graves. Alright, let's go check out some of these older ones.
Let's go, oh look.
Okay, so we've got an unmarked grave here. It's probably relatively fresh. Here's quite a cute little ornament on one. Beth's just picking up a couple of pots on some of the graves. These are relatively recent. Oh, that's a relatively recent one from 1997. And let's go check out some of these other ones right at the back. And these little markers here are reserved plots. Either that or they're marking an unmarked grave. Nice little shady spot for a grave. Oh, here's an interesting little one. Circa 1810. He was born in 1810, sorry, born in and died in 1860. And somebody's recently put a flower there, so there's still relatives in the area. All along here, all unmarked graves. It's a shame we don't have any names on some of these graves. Be nice to put a name to them. Beth was just saying that she feels that a lot of these graves around here have been disturbed. Yeah, it's a really crazy sort of energy, this section. Okay, I've got my K2 on. If anything comes up, I'll show you on the vid. So I'll be asking.
Oh, the right side of my head just went numb.
What do you reckon, they tried to move some?
Yeah, the left side of my head just went all numb. They've tried to move them. They've tried to clean the area up and it's disturbed everything. Oh,
So, don't want to walk over these patches here because
no,
we just know there are unmarked graves there, so we'll just go all the way around.
See all the broken glass?
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of broken glass there too.
There's actually parts of graves, like parts of... They've come through with a backhoe or something.
It's like some of these graves have been damaged or
They've just been
disturbed.
They've just been run over. They've tried to move them.
And
These are all the plot markers. These are plot markers.
I've got the K2 on as well, so if there's any spirit that want to come along, say hi, you can attach your energy to K2 meter I've got. Nothing's happening at the moment.
Someone's right up my aura.
It's kind of like the feeling is, it's like a do not disturb cemetery.
It might have been the feeling you got when you walked in. It might have been light.
Yeah. Bit of quartz here.
I've got someone right in my aura. And he ain't happy.
Charles Green and a Mary, 1865.
I got someone right in my aura, darling, and he is not,
Again, we're in the countryside.
he is not happy.
So Beth's got somebody with her that isn't entirely happy.
No, he's
Just
right
want
up
to
my
have a
aura.
look at a couple of these ones here.
Mate, you're going to have to back off.
There's nothing happening on the K2.
He's trying to give me a shove. That's what he's trying to do.
Beth thinks there's somebody trying to give her a shove.
There is. He's right behind me. He's trying to give me a shove.
I'm not picking up anything on the K2.
My phone's in the bag, so you might pick the phone
No,
up. He's trying to give me a
nothing
shove.
coming up on the
He's
K2.
really trying to. He can't shift me. He thinks I'm an easy target. Oh,
Little broken ornament here.
that's what I mean.
Broken headstone.
Oh, but that's
I have heard of the Evoker Cemetery being a bit of a target for kids. This one over here's target for vandals for whatever reason. This is quite interesting. Let's see if I can read it. To the memory of Mary, the wife of Samuel Hawken. Doesn't give a date or anything, but it says the age was 36. Here's another grave that unfortunately has been demolished. So we send lots of love and blessings to Joseph Nicholson, who was born in Cumberland, England. He died in 1871. It's a shame to see broken graves like that. Oh, here's a very tiny one. This one's got a little plaque to it. Let's have a look at this and see what this has got to say. This one's a child grave, obviously, by the size of it. To the memory of Harriet, the beloved daughter of George and Eliza Carew. Aged 4 years. Or Crowhurst. Memory of Eliza Crowhurst, devoted mother, who carved a headstone on this grave and wheeled it in a barrow from Percydale to the cemetery. Wow. There you go. So the mother of Harriet actually carved this headstone and wheeled it in a wheelbarrow to this resting place here. How cool is that? That's love for you. Another quite substantial one. 1863. Can't quite make out the writing though. Oh, here we go. Sacred to the memory of David Farnsworth. Died in 1863. Died in South Australia. Oh, Martha died in South Australia, sorry. There you go. Just in this section here, you can see a little bit of brickwork where there are unmarked graves.
There's one behind you too.
There's one just behind me here too.
It's like they just ran over it, they just dug them up.
But it was this one that attracted us right from the other side of the cemetery. And it's in memory of our dear Etta, daughter of J. Trevina.
WJ.
And she died in, what was it, 1889, aged 26 years old.
Children who died in, and also
And 6 children.
who died in infancy.
6 children, she had 6 children who died in infancy.
And Williams
And
on
that's
the other
really
side.
interesting because Beth's very much into people who've lost children. And this lady, or this grave here really attracted me.
Well, there's William and Jay. So the mother and the father are on the other side.
So help me K2, is there an Etta around?
Is Etta short for Henrietta?
Can you light up the meter for me? If there's a Etta around.
There's someone on the other side too.
Another substantial grave over here too. Big family plot. Out in the country they do like the big family plots. Another quite substantial one too.
Tell you what, this guy doesn't get out of my aura. Should have given me one shot.
So Beth's got spirit that's been giving her a little bit of a shove here and there. We figured his name was John. We both come up with the name John. And John, you can fuck off. Because if you want to keep up, I'm going to kick your ass. It's as simple as that.
You're not behaving like a gentleman, and I don't have to behave like a lady. So if you don't get out of my ass, I'll put you into the middle next Tuesday.
Have a quite nice substantial one too. Memory of our dear father Archibald.
Now there's a
And
name
Margaret.
We don't get. There's not very many Archibalds we come
And the
across.
sons, David, John,
Archibald Jr.
and their daughter Marjorie. John,
John!
Are you the John that has been pushing Beth while she's been walking around the cemetery?
Oh, he suddenly got all quiet, John.
Cat got your tongue now. Come and show us if it's you on the meter.
Come on, John.
Come and light up the meter if it's you, John. Cat got your tongue?
I'm pretty sure, John, that your daughter Marjorie probably wouldn't agree with you pushing a lady around while she's holding a baby. So if you're not going to behave like a gentleman, I'm not going to behave like a lady.
Come and light up the meter if it's you, John.
Oh, go on, John. You've had so much to say so far.
What? You like to push and shove people around, and you can't even. You haven't got the strength to light up this meter. What are you? Some sort of wuss?
I think he likes to push and shove people around who's not quite able to fight back.
Oh well.
Thing is, I can
There you
fight
go.
back.
See if you can light it up for us. No.
John, Jacob, Jingle, Jangle, Smith. Come on.
Okay, if you want to be a wuss, that's fine. See you later.
He's taken a couple of steps.
Yeah, some spirit.
Mind you, I attract all the good ones, don't I?
Oh, you do attract some good ones.
Yeah, I attract all of the good ones.
So we're into the Chinese section at the moment, and it's nice to see that they've actually put some wire around some of these headstones here. Footstones.
My,
In Chinese, they're all footstones.
my Chinese guide wanted to correct you on that one.
So nice to see they've got a little bit of wiring.
Yep, so the head would be about there, I think. Just don't tread on anyone.
Yeah, try not to tread on anyone. And they've got one of these memorial Chinese chimneys too. It's quite cool. Hello, anyone in there?
That's actually a really nice one.
It's not too bad, is
It's
it?
got like a lid
Yeah.
sort of roof and everything. That's probably one of the nicest ones I've seen.
Hey, it's pretty cool.
This memorial was erected into the memory of the early Chinese ancestors. It is to commemorate their energy and their
Travails, their courage and their sacrifices in paving the way for future generations of Australian Chinese. It is to be hoped that these future generations will remember them fondly with pride and respect.
erected.
And it's erected in 2012.
So that's probably one of
Very
the,
cool.
That's probably the one that has all the incense sticks and stuff on that you put on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little altar type thing.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll have to bring something when
Very
we come
nice.
to these sections, Dom.
Yeah,
We'll have to bring some incense or something.
we should.
Yeah.
So in this section here, there's a lot of newer graves mixed in with some of the old ones, so we'll just be a little bit careful around the newer ones. Give them a little bit of respect.
There's like protection angels in
And we'll just have a bit of a wander to see what we're attracted to. Nice big one over there.
That one's fresh. Go that way.
This one.
Yeah, that one's really fresh. Go that way.
So we'll just have a bit of a wander through, see if there's anything that we feel attracted to,
That big one
which
right there is the one that I have. Big black.
there's not a lot in here that I feel actually attracted to.
Yeah.
This one
Yeah.
Beth kind of liked.
An affectionate memory.
This one.
Remembrance. Yeah, sorry, I'm dyslexic. Edward. Clara. That's got a bit of a weird feel to it, that one. I think they've tried to repair this one.
Hmm.
That's funny. But it's more.
Seems to be a lot of graves here
Oh.
that are not finished and have been left for quite some time. And it just goes to show, you know, that not everybody can afford to bury their dead in a nice way. Burials do cost a fortune these days, unfortunately. And not everybody can afford it.
I've decided. Yeah, well, it's a good conversation.
What you got to do? Be a tree.
Yeah, I'm going to be a tree.
You're going to decide you're going to be a tree.
Well, I'm going to get people to bury me somewhere and then put a tree on top of me.
In a nature reserve.
Yeah, because you know why?
Why?
Because it'll be the first time in my whole life I'll be completely grounded.
Oh shit!
And you'll be
That'll be
so
shock to the
relieved.
system, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell!
I won't have
Does
to
that mean I
work
won't have any anxiety?
I don't know. Your anxiety's your problem, not mine.
Oh no, my anxiety is set off by you.
You picked me. That's what
I
happens.
know I did pick you, didn't I?
That's what happens when you pick up strange women on the internet.
Oh Jesus Christ! Be warned. Don't pick up people on the internet.
Exactly. There's a lot of warning about strange women on the internet. That's what happens.
Well, it's your fault.
Oh!
Yes, I know. There's a couple of newies around.
No, I just got shoved again.
You got shoved again.
Yeah, he's really going to town. I think
Getting a
he's
bit sick of this John.
I think he's going to have to meet the Scotsman, darling.
I think we're going to have to do something with you before we leave.
I think you're going to meet my Scotsman if you're
And
not
we'll do that
careful.
off camera, by the way. We don't do that sort of stuff on the camera because we don't want people
I think he needs to go to the light and learn a lesson.
learning how to do it just off what we do. I think we're going to move them across to the light.
Sir Robert seems to think.
Just a quick S-box before we leave. If there's anyone here who'd like to say hello, please come and do so. It's a rather nice cemetery, this one. Is there anyone here? Can you call out your name if you're here? Did you live in the area? Can you tell us what sort of work you do? Can you tell us what year you passed away? Okay, thanks. We're going to close off this box. Yeah, what is the last thing you remember? Quickly tell us that. here will not be allowed to come home with us. If there's anything you'd like to say, you can say it quickly. Okay, thank you.
I crossed him over there and just came over. He was an arsehole.
Yeah, John was a bit of an arsehole. It's alright.
The idea, darling, is to avoid the water.
Yeah, there's a lot of water here.
It's a bit squelchy.
Just a little bit squelchy.
I love graves.
Now, yeah,
I do like
I kind of like these types of graves here, or like the headstones here, because they're not really huge and
that.
monumentous, but they are really, really nice.
That looks like there's one being taken out.
Really nice. It could be too.
Looks like something's been there and they've moved it.
Some of them are quite well done. I don't get the idea of the black though. Maybe that's just the fad at the time, you know, all the black.
Maybe it's cheaper.
But yeah, it could be a cheaper stone. Who knows? Yeah, it's just the fad of the time, I think.
Well, she
I
looks like
don't
my
know.
grandmother. She
I
reminds me
suppose
of my
because the gold, a lot of the modern graves, they have the gold writing, and the gold tends to stand out more, and I think it tends to last a lot longer, stays a lot cleaner maybe, I'm not too sure. I mean, so some of the white stands out as well, but I think the white will probably get a little bit dirtier over time than what the gold does.
Picking up the flowers.
Yeah.
Can you pick some flowers up for me? I just picked up the flowers.
Yep, there you go. And there you go, folks. That's a little bit of a look through Avoca Cemetery. With a spirit that was been a little bit pushy and shovey with Beth. But we've taken care of him anyway.
Yeah, I attract all sorts. Usually the wrong one. We go into a cemetery and not attract an arsehole.
And we notice there's a lot of cockies around too.
Yeah.
You can hear them. Background of the vid.
I
And,
see the cockies.
it's nice to see the cockies. The cockies are a good energy in a cemetery, we find.
I see the cockies as angelic. That's how I
Hmm.
kind of get them.
It's sort of like caretakers in a way.
A couple up in the corner there. A couple of the older ones are up along the front.
There's a couple of wrens around too.
Yeah, wrens are good.
Little blue wrens. Very nice. Actually, it's really good to see
And lily white
like a lot of bird life in a cemetery. It just means that the energy isn't all that bad.
lily white.
Oh yeah, there's a willy wagtail over there as well. He'll probably disappear before we get there. But there you go, folks. That's the Avoca Cemetery. A very quick look.
Bye.
Cheers for watching.
Left in the cemetery.
Just as we're leaving, we spotted a grave, which we think is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, this fella here, he was a backhoe driver. He's got pictures of backhoe on a metal headstone, and the headstone itself is part of a backhoe. So, well, I think that's really, really cool. You know, it's having something, a headstone made from something that you actually spent your life working on or working with. That's really, really cool. So I was sending lots of blessings to Timothy George, who passed away in 2009.
Mate, you're a legend. Love it.
Good on you. Legend. Good stuff. Cheers for now.